Hey guys, this is Wade from the TCC STEM Center, and today I'm going to be showing y'all how to find the domain and range of a function. So this is the function we're using today, and I just want you guys to take some key points into consideration. So again, we're finding the domain and the range. And if these are some concepts that you might be unfamiliar with, you just got to remember that it's the x and y axis. So the domain is the x-axis and the range is the y-axis. If you guys ever get uncomfortable, just don't feel afraid to write that out. And another thing that I want you guys to take notice is that this right here is the beginning of the equation. And you can see that this is squared. So by determining with this being the highest exponent, so that's the highest of these numbers right here, you know it's going to be a parabola. You can also tell that it's going to be a positive parabola, so it's going to look like this. And the way that you can tell that is by this number, this entire form of the equation right here, this is positive, so this is positive 3x squared. So you know it's going to be a positive parabola. So what we're going to do now is, in order to find the domain and range, we're going to graph this. By graphing it, we're going to be plotting some x and y coordinates. So this is the x, this is y. And we can just pick up some numbers out of thin air, and we're going to pick some -2 through 1. So I'm going to say -2, -1, 0, and let's say 1. And so with these values, they're just random values that I chose to pick. They're both positive and negative, so we can get both sides of the parabola. We're going to plug these values into the original equation. So I'm going to work one out for you, and then you guys are going to do the rest. That way you can get a little bit of experience. So I'm just going to start out with -2 then. So it's going to be 3 times -2 squared, because you're just substituting x for -2, plus 6 times -2 minus 2. So now I'm just going to distribute and simplify and get a couple things going. So it's going to be 3, and this is squared, so a -2 squared. And you guys remember, if you multiply a -2 times a -2, this is going to be 4, because a negative times a negative is always a positive. So from here, it's going to be 3 times 4 plus 6 times -2 minus 2. So 3 times 4, let's see, that's 12, plus 6 times -2. So now remember, this is a positive 6 times a -2. So with that, you're going to get a -12 minus 2. This negative right here, this cancels out this addition sign. So you guys can simply erase that. It's going to be 12 minus 12 minus 2. Now 12 minus 12, that's pretty simple. Those just cancel out to give you 0, minus 2. And then from there, you just get -2. So this is your y value. So this is equal to y. Just going to plug that in here, and there you go. So this is where that point where x is equal to -2, the y value is -2. I'm going to let you guys do that same equation with the rest of these values, so you guys can get a little experience and just plug them into this original equation. Alright guys, so having plugged these values in here, you should have gotten these results. So -5, -2, and 7. So with these values, these are ordered pairs, okay? So you're going to use these values to sketch this graph. And doing that is going to give you a visual on what this equation looks like. And with that visual, you can find the domain and range. So just going to sketch it out. So let's do the x and y axis. So x, y, and this is x. And remember, this is a graph, so it doesn't need to be completely accurate. You can tailor the graph to look however you want. So it's going to be a little bit unproportional for me. -1, -2. And then here, so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7. This is negative 7. Now I'm just going to plot these points. So negative 2, negative 2. So over 2, down 2. There's 1 point. So negative 1, negative 5. So negative 1 over 1, down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 0, negative 2. So you're going over 0, so you're not moving at all. You're just going down 5. So 1, 2, or down 2. 1, 2. And now you have 1, positive 7. So over 1 and up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now from there, you're simply just connecting the dots. And if you notice, this does indeed resemble what we originally had anticipated. This is a positive parabola, and it does have this shape. Now with this, you can see what the domain and the range is. So let's focus first on the domain. So the domain is the x-axis. Okay, so I just want you to focus on this right here. So the domain is the x-axis. And any domain with any type of function like this is always going to be all real numbers. So what that means is it's going to be from negative infinity to positive infinity. And you guys can see that by these values right here. These values are always going to be going all the way up and right. So it's just going to continue that form of always going to the right. Same with this side. It's going to continue always going to the left. So it's negative infinity to positive infinity. And this is the domain. Next, we're going to focus on the range. So the range is going up and down. So this is along the y-axis. The range is up and down the y-axis. So the range. This is domain. So the range, let's see. So this parabola doesn't seem to go past this point right here. You guys can see that through the graph. So this point again, this is negative 5. So using that knowledge, you can find the range. So this is equal to range. And this is going all the way up. So now you're just focusing. So this would be negative 5. And the reason this is a bracket is because this includes the point of negative 5. So including the point of negative 5, it's going to go up forever. So that's infinity. So you found the domain and range using. So the domain is negative infinity, comma infinity, and the range is negative 5, comma infinity. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and tune in for our next video.